Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Saturday the 22nd of May 2021 and we're publishing our gold and silver weekly update for the week ending the 21st of May. We also briefly look at political events and economic reports which could shape what happens to the US dollar and therefore precious metal prices. So let's take a look. Now, before we talk about precious metal prices, just a reminder that we interviewed an IT security specialist last week by the name of Ray, who gave us the inside track on whether our electronic devices are spying on us or not. And we've placed a link to that video below. We also published 3 important videos earlier in the week highlighting the rise in both gold and silver prices and how some have argued that they may now have begun to break out of their consolidation phase, though it may take a little time to see some dramatic improvements. Now, those videos were gold and silver optimism at last, gold and silver begin to surge, will it continue, and 7 reasons why gold prices could surge soon. Short term, we are very optimistic with gold. And we've listed all of these in the description box below with links for ease of access. Okay, getting back to prices. Gold rose $38 last week from $1,844 to $1,882, having hit a high of $1,890 and a low of $1,843, a rise of 2%. In sterling terms, gold finished the week at £1,330, that's up £22. And in euros it closed at €1,545, that's up 27 euros. Silver rose 14 cents from $27.45 to $27.59, having hit a high of $28.76, things were getting exciting, and a low of $27.23, a rise in the end of just 0.5%. In sterling terms, silver closed at £19.50, that's up 4 pence, and in euros it closed at €22.65, that's up 0.05 euros. The gold to silver ratio rose from 67.2 to 1 to 68.2 to 1, and the week before it was 66.2 to 1. Bitcoin is down over $12,000 at $36,112, though early in the week it had touched 30,000 and looked as if it was going lower. The Dow Jones closed on Friday at 34,207, up 123 points on the day, but down 175 on the week. The S&P 500 closed at 4,155, down 3 points on the day and down 18 points on the week. And the Nasdaq Composite closed at 13,470, down 64 points on the day, but up 41 points on the week. Brent crude closed at $66.44, down $2.27, and WTI crude closed at $63.58, and that's down $1.79 on the week. The dollar index stands at 90.01, that's down 0.31 on the week. In fact, the dollar index did spend a reasonable amount of time at the 89 level, or in the 89s, for a lot of last week. Now, we concluded last week's video with the following forecast, quote, "So our gold trading range for this coming week remains similar to last week at between 1775 and 1875, with 1700 and 1950 as outliers, and silver trading between $26.50 and $28.50, with 26 to 29 as outliers." Well, gold closed marginally above our normal trading range by $5, but remained well within our outlier range, and silver, which looked at one stage as if it were going to be on a tear, closed well within our normal trading range, but did break out of it by 26 cents at one point, and also for a brief moment looked as if it were going to hit our outlier top price of $29, but alas it fell back when hitting just 24 cents short of that price. In relation to gold, we could see that it rose on opening, peaked on Wednesday and remained robust thereafter, regaining additional strength not long before its close on Friday, having fallen back slightly earlier in the day. As mentioned at the start of the video, we highlighted 3 videos which we produced this week in relation to gold and silver strength, but especially gold, and the reasons for its rise. Please, if you haven't looked at those or listened to those, we have provided links. Dollar weakness during the week certainly accounted for much of gold's rise, and its strength towards the end of the week capped gains. Having said that, of course, what happened in the crypto markets certainly gave somewhat of a tailwind to gold, simply because, and we've stated it time and time again, the cryptocurrency market has, to some extent, taken away funds that would normally have gone into precious metals. Now we have resistance at $1,902 with support at the 200-day moving average of 1,846. Short-term momentum has turned negative, though medium-term momentum has turned positive. The RSI is pointing to an overbought position, but the MACD is pointing to higher prices. So we have some conflicting technical information here. Gary Wagner, a favourite of ours, who isn't always right but generally has his feet firmly on the ground, stated on Forex Empire the following quote, a golden cross could be forthcoming between the 50-day EMA and the 100-day EMA. To paraphrase Investopedia, the golden cross is a chart pattern, a bullish signal in which a market's moving average moves above a longer-term moving average. The golden cross is a bullish breakout pattern formed from a crossover involving short-term, such as the 50-day moving average, breaking above a longer term, such as the 100-day moving average. As long-term indicators carry more weight than a shorter one, the cross indicates a bull market on the horizon and is reinforced by high trading volumes. Unquote. Now we remain bullish gold, and although there may be a minor pullback here and there, we do see gold continuing rising from current levels, especially when we see funds withdrawing from the equity markets, and if they continue from the cryptocurrency market, if that remains in turmoil. Silver's position was a little different from gold last week in that it peaked as early as Tuesday, then lost momentum and actually touched its week's low on Friday. Now, whilst again we're bullish silver for the same reasons as gold, varying economic data, not all positive, is in our view hampering silver's price rise to greater heights until it becomes more clear that global economic recovery is apparent and proceeding, thereby ensuring a rise in its industrial demand component. There appears to be quite a large amount of selling pressure above $28 currently, and as we stated last week, silver has to rise and hold above this level before it can confidently advance again to $30. Silver has a range of support levels down to $27 and then to $26, and of course resistance at $28, and a number of levels until $29. That said, it would not take too much impetus to see silver break above $29 and attempt to reach that psychologically important $30 level. For us, there is plenty in place to encourage silver's advancement, though it has to leave a number of loose hands in the interim. It has been prone to quite speculative investments, particularly in the ETF market of late. Now, we've previously commented on the economic data published this week in our earlier videos, and see little point repeating the same information again here. Suffice to say, with mixed data existing earlier in the week, we did see on Friday the manufacturing PMIs coming in strongly, and this certainly helped to strengthen the dollar at least short term. Now, looking forward to this coming week, on Monday there's nothing scheduled. Tuesday we have the Consumer Confidence Index, worth noting, and new home sales for April. Wednesday, nothing scheduled again. But then on Thursday we have the weekly jobless claims report, the GDP revision for quarter one, and the durable goods orders for April. And most important perhaps of all, on Friday, personal income for April, consumer spending and core inflation all for April, with the Chicago PMI for May and the Consumer Sentiment Index for May. So Thursday, for the jobs report particularly, and Friday should have the greatest impact on markets and precious metal prices, should the figures be considerably better or worse than expectations on these 2 days. Now, as we stated last week, geopolitically there are a number of sensitive areas, but nothing we foresee really at this stage likely to derail markets. The exciting thing this past week was the turmoil in the cryptocurrency market. That said, any further infections of the Indian variant of the COVID virus could upset things should vaccines appear ineffective, though many reports suggest that current vaccines are fine. We have to wait and see on that. The Middle East is still a concern, but some of those concerns too appear to have been allayed the last few days. So our gold trading range for this coming week has been increased or strengthened slightly. So we're now looking at gold trading quite comfortably within $1,800 and $1,900 and $1,750 and $1,975 as outliers. So you'll see we've raised that slightly. And silver trading between $27 and $28.75. So we've raised that with $26.50 and $29.50 as outliers. Unless something significantly happens, we don't see silver touching $30 this week. But it could certainly more than breach the $28.50 level. We're expecting a fair amount of economic news coming from other parts of the globe next week, and a few political infractions and potential policy announcements, which we will comment on during the course of the week. We may indeed double up on our videos this week, as we've noticed our traction rate has fallen, and we are not sure whether it's because of the subject or whether it's the time of day we're actually releasing these videos. But at any rate, we hope that these reports are useful. What we may do from time to time, it won't happen often, but if we find a particular video has some quite important information but has had very few views, we may reissue it as we did earlier today with a video we produced yesterday, but under a different title and image, just to see if that improves events. And in today's video that we posted, it certainly has more than doubled the same video, more or less, that we produced yesterday. Anyway, what are your thoughts about gold and silver prices this week? Do you see Bitcoin falling further? Or do you suspect there might be now some form of recovery in the cryptocurrency markets? Or do you care? Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to our channel, not forgetting to press the bell sign so you're notified of our videos as and when they're published. And as always, we wish you a safe, enjoyable weekend and prosperous week ahead. Disclaimer. Illuminati silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.